I'll just crumple. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki. In today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys some of the sweet treats and desserts that I've been enjoying lately that are really quick and easy to throw together, but lower in Weight Watchers points. Some of them are a little bit higher in protein, but more my focus is just keeping them low point to have as an option at the end of the day when I want something sweet after dinner. So if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna be going through the different desserts that I've been eating lately as I make them. So today I'm actually just prepping a Creami, and I'm just gonna share what Creami I've been doing for us lately. But a Creami is just an ice cream machine that we have. It comes with these little cups, and then you fill them with the liquid, and then you freeze them, and you can spin them the next day after 24 hours, and then it makes an ice cream, and it's much easier to just add your own ingredients and make them lower point options. So that's what I'm gonna make today. I'm gonna be sharing some other recipes, some yogurt bowls, s'mores, stuff like that, and I'll have the recipes and points and stuff typed out in the description of this video. But let's go ahead and get started with the Creamies that I'm making today. So the Creami that I've been enjoying lately for us, I'm gonna make 2 of them, so we can each have our own if we want it, or we can split it. Usually we just end up splitting them, me and Adam. But anyway, I'm gonna be using this Fairlife fat-free milk. So for a cup of it on Weight Watchers, it is 2 points. If you have 3/4 cup or less, it's 1 point. So in each of these, I'm gonna be adding 1 cup of the Fairlife milk. Then I'm gonna add a scoop of this protein powder. This is PE Science, and the flavor is chocolate peanut butter cup. So I'm just gonna do the same for both of them and then mix that together with a whisk. And then I'm also gonna add a serving of this Jell-O cheesecake powder. So I usually just weigh it in grams on my food scale. I'll probably do that. And like I said, then I just whisk it together and pop it in the freezer. Sometimes I add a mashed banana, but I don't really feel like adding that today. I've actually really been enjoying cutting up a banana after I freeze it and when I actually like make the ice cream to make it like a banana split. So I'll show you guys what I do after I freeze them and how I spin it, and then the toppings I add, the mix-ins and stuff like that. But first I'm just gonna go ahead and make these that will have to get frozen for 24 hours. Okay, so moving on, I'm not having the Creami right away. Tonight I'm showing a different dessert that I've been enjoying, and this is one that I combine with my honeycrisp apples. So if you guys don't know, I have a honeycrisp apple every single day. I talk about it all the time in my videos. It's something that just really helps me on my journey to have sustainable weight loss. And the reason it's so important for me is because after I finish any meal, I want something sweet, and honeycrisp apples are sweet, they're crispy, they're juicy, and I honestly crave them, but they're 0 points on Weight Watchers. So I'll have one right after I finish my dinner every day, and then I still have my dessert after. It helps me to get a little fiber, feel a little bit more full before I have my dessert, and then I don't crave as much for actual dessert. But sometimes I do like to have my honeycrisp apple with my dessert, and that's what I'm gonna be doing today, making a yogurt dip with it. So I've got my honeycrisp apple here that I'm just gonna cut into slices, and then I'm gonna use it in a dip. And what I like to do is just buy the individual containers like this, because then you could just make it in here. So this one specifically is from Aldi. It's 2 points for the container. It's got 80 calories and 12 grams of protein, and this is just their vanilla Greek yogurt. I just open it up and mix it before I add anything to it. And then I'm just gonna be adding a couple ingredients to it to make it a yogurt dip. So what I'm gonna do is add 1 of these Oreo thins. This is 2 points for one of them on Weight Watchers. You can have 2 of them for 3 points. So sometimes I actually do make this a higher point dip. I make it 6 points total. Today it's just gonna be 5 points because I'm just gonna use 1 Oreo, but you could use 2 of these Oreo thins for 3 points on Weight Watchers. So I'm just gonna chop one of those up and mix it with the yogurt. Then I'm also gonna add 1 point of peanut butter, and this is just the Trader Joe's Creamy, unsalted, unsweetened peanut butter. So I just put it on my food scale and scoop out 8 grams, and then I mix it into the yogurt as well. It ends up being the perfect amount. And then I do like to add just a splash of vanilla. So that'll be my dip, and then I just dip the apple in it. It's super quick and easy to throw together. I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now. All I do is crush up the Oreo and add in the peanut butter. Okay, so the apple dip is done. I just tried it and it's really good. This is one of my favorites to make. It's 5 points total on WeightWatchers. The apple is 0 points. The Oreo I used, and then I did add a half one, but the one that I crushed up is 2 points. I don't know how much it is for 2.5. I should double check if it goes up to 3. But anyway, I've got that in here. I've got 1 point of peanut butter, and then the yogurt is 2 points on WeightWatchers. So that took no time. It's quick and easy. It's got some protein because of the yogurt and peanut butter, and it just tastes really good and satisfies my sweet tooth. That wraps up that dessert. I'll have it typed out in the description, and I'll be back with the next one. Okay, moving on to another quick and easy dessert that I've been making that takes really not much time, and it's just been satisfying my sweet tooth. I like to combine my desserts with a fruit usually because I feel like it makes it more filling, and I like to take advantage of the fact that for me, fruits are 0 points on WeightWatchers. So for this recipe today, I'm gonna be using frozen strawberries as my topping, and what I'm gonna be making is just a giant waffle that I'm gonna put those strawberries on. The strawberries that I use are just frozen. They come in the freezer section. They're regular frozen strawberries, no sugar added or anything, so they are 0 points on WeightWatchers. And what I like to do is just toss them in the microwave for a minute 30 seconds till they get nice and heated up, and then they kind of have like a liquidy syrup to them. I usually heat these up before I even start my waffle so they can sit for a minute too, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in the microwave, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make my waffle. So to make the waffle today, it's gonna come out to 5 points total on WeightWatchers. You can feel free to sub in and out ingredients if you want. I'll go ahead and share what I'm gonna be using and what you could sub in and out. But what I'm gonna be using is 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and 2 tablespoons of whole wheat flour. Now that oats are 0 points on WeightWatchers, you could technically blend those and make them oat flour for 0 points. So you could replace the whole wheat flour or the all-purpose flour with oat flour if you'd like to make this an even lower point option. I think that's something I'm gonna try out, but for today, I'm just gonna make it the way I have been, and I've really been enjoying it. So 3 tablespoons of all-purpose, 2 tablespoons of whole wheat flour. Then I mix in about a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. I also add 2 tablespoons of this Nuts and More powdered peanut butter, and this is the salted caramel flavor. So you can have 2 tablespoons for 1 point on WeightWatchers. It's 50 calories and 4 grams of protein. Technically, you could take this out if you don't want to add the peanut butter flavor, but I do like to add this. So it's only 1 point for 2 tablespoons, and that just adds a little bit of a peanut butter flavor, and I feel like it helps the texture a little bit. But I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of that, and then 8 grams, which is just a 1 point serving of this coconut brown sugar. So I'm gonna mix all the dry ingredients together. Then I add a 1/4 cup of fat-free Fairlife milk, which is 0 points for that serving on WeightWatchers. I'm also gonna add a splash of vanilla and then 1 egg and just whisk that together. Then I've got a waffle maker here. So the cord doesn't reach this far, but so I recently got a new waffle maker. It's something I've been wanting to get now that we actually have a little bit more space in this house. I've actually wanted a panini press and a waffle maker, and I found one on sale at Target that has both things. So I'll see if I can link it. It's called the Griddler, but it has been so nice for making waffles, but also panini sandwiches. I'm gonna have to do a whole panini video because we've been eating a lot of those, and they're really good and filling. But anyway, for this, I'm just gonna be using my waffle maker. It's got 4 different sections, and I'll show you when I make it, but I just pour it in the middle, and then I just make 1 waffle. So it's not gonna be perfect, but it works, it tastes really good, and then topped with the strawberries, it's perfect. So sometimes if I have some extra points, I'll also top it with some dark chocolate chips or some whipped cream, but you can do whatever you'd like. You could also just add some syrup. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this waffle. I'm gonna start heating up my waffle iron and then mix all the ingredients together and heat up the strawberries. Okay, so my waffles are finished. I topped them with the heated up strawberries, and this is 5 points for the plate. So I feel like it'd be much better with whipped cream, but I don't have any. It's also really good. Like I said, I'll top it with some chocolate chips sometimes, or if you want to just top it with syrup as well. But 5 points for this serving. It's 2 for the all-purpose flour, 1 for the whole wheat flour, 1 for the powdered peanut butter I used, and then 1 for the brown sugar. So that wraps up this dessert, and I'll be back with another one. Okay, on to the next dessert that I'm making. This is one that I've been talking about a lot lately in my grocery hauls and stuff, because every time that I buy different cereal, my yogurt, or frozen fruit, I talk about these bowls that I've been making, and they're so quick and easy to throw together, but I wanted to include them because, like I said, I've been having them a lot for dessert lately. What I do is I take a frozen fruit. Today I'm gonna be using frozen sliced peaches. I'm almost done with this bag, so I'm just gonna finish it up. And I just put it in a bowl and pop them in the microwave for a minute to 1 minute and 30 seconds. I sometimes mix them around and do another 30 seconds if they're not heated up. I personally prefer to have them pretty warm because I kind of like them warm with the yogurt and stuff and mixed together. I don't really like when they're still frozen or kind of cold, but you can do it either way. They are good when you mix the yogurt cold together. It kind of makes it more of like an ice cream, like frozen yogurt, but I personally like to do it more like melted and warm. So I'm just gonna put this in a bowl. It's 0 points on WeightWatchers if you aren't on the diabetic plan, and that's because it's just peaches in here. So I've got my bowl, and these are my favorite bowls for it. I recently got them from IKEA. They're just like regular bowls that they have, but I just take my peaches and I'm gonna toss them in the microwave. Then on top of that, I add some yogurt, which this is my favorite yogurt to use. It's the Dan & Lighten Fit Vanilla Greek Yogurt. It's 2 points for the serving I usually use. I just put it on my food scale and weigh it out. It's like 135 grams that I do, but the serving on here is for 3/4 cup, which is 170 grams, and that serving is 3 points on WeightWatchers. So that's got 90 calories and 14 grams of protein. I do just a little bit less for 2 points because then I also like to top it with some cereal. So this has been my favorite cereal to combine with the peaches because it's cinnamon flavor. So the brand is Lovebird, and it's just their cinnamon cereal like this. So it kind of looks like Cheerios, but it's got a really good flavor. It's low point. You can have a decent amount for 2 points on WeightWatchers. I think the serving for 3/4 cup is 4 points. I'm just gonna go ahead and heat up my peaches, add the yogurt and the cereal, and that's it for the bowl, making it 4 points total. It's really filling, it's really sweet, and I really do like the frozen fruit heated up like it. And there's a bunch of different fruits I've tried. I really like the peaches, the strawberries, and then even mixed berries, specifically some like cherry mixes have been really good. I just got mangoes to try as well, but I wanted to finish off my peaches first, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Usually with the berries and the strawberries, I leave the juice. With the peaches, it's a little bit more on the liquidy side, so I'm gonna strain a little bit of this out, but then I'm gonna add the yogurt. Okay, so that is my finished yogurt bowl. This is 4 points on WeightWatchers. It's 0 for the peaches, 2 for the cereal, and 2 for the yogurt. So I just mixed this all together and it is so good. It's nice and filling and it helps me to get some protein in as well as just satisfy my sweet tooth. So that wraps it up for this one, and I'll be back with the next one. Okay, the next dessert that I'm gonna be making is one of my favorite desserts to have, and that is s'mores, but it's gonna be a little bit of a lower point version. Today, I'm gonna be using 3 ingredients and just heating the s'mores up in the air fryer. So what I'm gonna be using to make the s'mores today, I've got these low-fat graham crackers. They're made with whole grains, and for 1 full sheet, which is like 2 crackers broken to make 1 s'more, it's 2 points on WeightWatchers. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of those. So the sheet of graham cracker is 2 points. I'm just gonna break it in half, and that'll be for my s'more. Then what I do is I just pop the graham crackers in the air fryer, and on 1/2, I'm gonna put a skinny dipped dark chocolate peanut butter cup. This is 2 points on WeightWatchers. It's got 70 calories and 2 grams of protein. And then on 1/2, it's gonna be the peanut butter cup. Then on the other half, I've just got these mini marshmallows, and actually, these are the ones I just buy to make Rice Krispies. So I've always got some on hand, but you can get a smaller bag. I have the bigger bag here. But what I do is I just weigh out 7 grams, which is 1 point on WeightWatchers, and I just lay it out on the other graham cracker. Then I pop them in the air fryer and toast them up. Once they start to get a little bit toasted and melted, they're done. So it's 5 points. It's 2 for the graham cracker, 2 for the peanut butter cup, and 1 for the serving of marshmallows that I use. And it is so good. I've been having it a lot lately. It's so quick and easy to throw together. And like I said, it's just like a satisfying dessert because I love s'mores and it tastes just like a s'more, but even better because it's got peanut butter. But anyway, let me go ahead and get this together and in the air fryer, and I'm gonna eat my s'more. Okay, so my s'more is done. It got a little bit overdone in the air fryer, but I like when it gets nice and toasted, so it'll be really good. And I kind of let it cool for a second because the chocolate gets so melted that it's really messy to eat. But again, this has become one of my favorite desserts because it satisfies my craving for a s'more. It's a little bit lower point. Usually I would use like regular Hershey's chocolate, and I would use like big marshmallows and not weigh them out or anything, and regular graham crackers. And so making these little adjustments kind of just helps to save some points here and there, and it still helps me to satisfy that craving. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat my s'more. This is 5 points on WeightWatchers, and I'll be back with another recipe. Okay, so I am making my creamy ice cream bowl. This has been frozen. It's been actually a couple days since I originally froze this, but it was ready to use, and I just used the Creami to blend it up. So it took 2 spins, well, 1 spin, 1 respin, and then I also do a mix in with some extra toppings. But sometimes I like to add a little splash of extra milk, so that's why I had some extra Fairlife that I just used, and I just put a splash in to help get the perfect consistency, which you can see this is perfect. So looks just like ice cream. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop it into a bowl. Usually I like to pick one mix-in, or sometimes I'll just crumble something up on top, but 3 of my favorite mix-ins, one of them I used today, and it was a fiber one chocolate brownie. That's 2 points on WeightWatchers. And then 2 other things that I like to use. I really like these skinny dipped peanut butter cups, and also thin Oreos work really well. I just wanted to put it in a bowl to show you how much of a serving it is. So this is 1 entire container to myself. I made 1 for Adam as well. So we're each gonna get our own today, but this is 7 points total with the mix-in. It is 2 points for the milk that I used, 2 for the protein powder, and then 1 for the pudding mix, and then I added the 2-point fiber one brownie. So 7 points for this bowl of ice cream. You don't have to add a mix in, but I just like to give it a little bit of something extra. But yeah, that is the Creami. I'm also gonna top it with some sprinkles because I always just like to do that. So usually I'll just put some sprinkles as well. I have so many sprinkles because of my cookie business, so I always just like to top my ice cream with them. But that is it for my Creami bowl. And it's so easy to mix it up, to do different protein powders, different mix-ins, to have something different every time. But this has been a go-to that we've been having a lot lately because it's one of our favorites. Okay, the last dessert that I'm gonna be making is one that includes my honeycrisp apples. So this is on the nights that I just don't eat it right after my dinner, and I plan to have it with my dessert because this is something I enjoy. So I'll also sometimes have it as like a midday snack, but usually I like to just have 1 apple a day after dinner. So I have a honeycrisp apple here. Usually I just do my smaller or medium ones that I have because when I eat them plain, I like to have the bigger ones. But I've got an apple, and all I'm gonna be doing is mixing it with some vanilla Greek yogurt. This is gonna be 2 points on WeightWatchers for the serving. And with that, I'm gonna chop up half of this salty peanut Barbell. It is 2 points for half of it. And what I'm trying to do is make kind of like a Snickers apple salad, which is something that I used to have all the time. I feel like it's like a party dish that people make, and it's a really good dessert. But it's a much lower point version with this. It has a good amount of protein because you get 10 grams with half the bar, and then the serving of yogurt that I use is about 12 grams of protein. Super easy to throw together, it tastes really good, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I make it. Okay, so my lightened up version of like a Snickers salad is done. I've got the apple yogurt and a Bear Bell in there, and then I also added a splash of vanilla because it gives it a little bit of a good flavor. So anyway, this is 4 points. It's just 2 points for the yogurt and 2 points for the Bear Bell, and that is the last dessert that I'm sharing. So I'll have these typed out in the description of this video with the point values, but these are just some quick and easy desserts that I've been throwing together at the end of the night when I'm craving something sweet. It really does help me to have lower point options to stay on track, and a lot of these are pretty filling for desserts, so that always helps as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.